Welcome everybody. Today we're checking out a sharpening system. This is the Worksharp Professional Precision Adjust, and I've had this for about a month now. So we're gonna do a quick unboxing and check out what kind of features this has. And you see we have a bunch of abrasives here, starting from a 220 coarse grit diamond stone all up until 800, and then we have a ceramic for a hone and then leather for a strop. So here is how the system is built. It's a guided system. Okay, just to save time, I have unboxed it, and once you do unbox it, inside you will see this nice black kit. Now in here is gonna have all your stuff. I have it the wrong way around. Isn't it funny how this logo looks a lot like another company logo that produces athletic wear? No comment. I'll just shut up right there. Let's see what we have in this box. This is the main box that you're gonna get with this edition. As usual, instruction manual for this brand, and the instructions are very good and clear. And if I can do this one-handed, okay. I really like the instructions. It was missing a few details, but they have a lot of videos online that you can check out for tips and advice. But really, it's really straightforward. Let's check it out. It tells you how to assemble it. Okay, so let's look at the diagram. If I can get it into focus, you see you have a guide rod. This is the whole basis for this system, is a guide rod system. It's not like the Spyderco sharp maker. Okay, and here are the stones, which are magnetic. Okay, this is the knife clamp, and these are little rivets that hold in this this sharpener or this sharpening chassis. Okay, and this right here is going to be a big thing that everyone talks about for this edition. Why? Because now we have a digital way to measure, even though I don't think it's 100% accurate, but it's way better than just twisting a dial and kind of guessing where your angle of your bevel is. So this is kind of cool. This is I would say the selling point. But for people that have like a normal one and then this just came out, I don't think it's worth the upgrade, to be honest. But since I don't have one, it's fine. And they also include a little attachment. This is for bigger knives, so let's say like hunting survival knives. It's supposed to provide more structural integrity. This is a problem with previous Worksharp models, was that they're all completely plastic and they're just not sturdy. So this slides onto this rail right here. I use it all the time just to create the more stability the better. And over here, this is gonna be our little table for small knives. I mean, like Victorinox Swiss Army knives. I haven't used it. It's really interesting looking, and this is actually magnetized. This is really interesting, but I have not used it yet. Very quickly, please. I'm sorry. Let's continue to go down here. So this basically lists all the different components of this system. As you see, this main thing is going to be all about this this digital angle. And another cool thing is that this thing can actually lean back a little bit. Why is that? If you have a long knife in here and you have to flip it over to remove the burr, the tip of the knife might hit the table. So this is why they did it. So that's a really good idea right there. Okay, if the knife is too big, you can just remove the clamp. But anyways, it's the options there. It makes it a bit convenient. Yeah, you see there? So basically, there's the clamp. And when you do tilt the clamp back, you press this red button. That's how you remove this little clamp. Okay. And unfortunately, the clamp I wish stuck out more, because some of the guiding rods actually abrade and can hit the corners of these of this clamp. The clamp position is very, very important. Okay, you must understand that since this is a guided system, the angle you get right here, for example, let's say you set it at 15 degrees and you set it right here, it's going to be 15 degrees here, but since it's on a guided rod, once it gets to here, it might be 14.5. Do you get my point? Or once it gets here, it might be 14.2. The whole point is that with guided systems, because of geometry, the angle is not going to be precise. It's not going to be completely the same from heel to tip. So you got to know that in advance. So this might involve reclamping the knife to get problematic areas. So just to let you know, that is a big issue. That's probably maybe the only issue that I know of right now. So here's what I'm talking about. It does this cool little thing where you can flip the knife over. And what's good about that is that once you do flip it over, the knife is in the same position, and then you can form that burr, remove that burr much more easily. Okay, I think we're in a different language section now. So, okay, here's the digital angle thing. Okay, so I don't know why I'm doing this, because we're gonna do it in a second. Okay, work sharp. Work sharp. There you go. Thanks for the sticker, but I don't need it. But okay, cool. And another thing is in the sharpening world is what kind of motion to use. Okay, people do following path or edge leading. This is going to be a lateral movement. Okay, but there's still going to be a lot of arguing on the internet about what to do. Some people just do a sawing motion. This is going to take time on your part. Okay, honing, stropping, does everything. Okay, it's got all the bells and whistles. All right, I think we've checked this out enough. Okay, let's look at the box. Okay, looks like we're missing something. Well, it's right in here. You'll see it later. Let's start with, this didn't come with it, by the way. This is just a brush. It's a good idea to have it to brush away fine metal particles and dust to keep your equipment clean. And here's this small knife table that I was talking about. It's quite heavy. It's a little bit difficult. Maybe it's because I'm not used to it. I've never used it, but it's really difficult to tinker around with. You mount it this way, and this is magnetic right here. So imagine like a really small Swiss Army knife. You put it right here. You make small adjustments. Okay, this screw will push the knife towards the edge, and then this is where you would sharpen it. So I haven't had the use for this at all. Okay, so was it here? Okay, there we go. Let's continue. You'll see what's in here later. Sharpie is always a good idea just to see if you're hitting that edge. So I just put it in there. Now we must cover these stones, because this is really important. I have a ceramic system, and it's really cool for maintaining edges. But in case I chipped or damaged the blade or wanted to reprofile the blade, something like the Spyderco Sharp Maker is not going to be able to do it, or not going to be able to do it well at all. It's going to take a lot of time because they're ceramic and they're not going to remove a lot of material. Now this changes the whole game for me, because before this I only did ceramic. So these are diamond stones, and they begin with 220. A lot of people have complained that, hey, why isn't 180? It moves material faster. We got 320, 400. It progresses like as such up until 800, and then once you hit 800, you start to hone with this white ceramic. As you can see, the material stuck in it. And I saw a guy on YouTube using a pencil eraser to remove this. So the back of these are steel, they can rust, so be careful once you clean them. Okay, the system is genius, I think. Let's take a closer look at one of these stones, just so we can see what the surface looks like. Okay, so this is gonna be the core stone. So this is what I use to reprofile, and you'll be surprised that even with these super steels that the job won't take that long. But also that depends on the person as well. So, and it's very important to keep these stones clean, because once you have something gunking up the grit in here, you basically it's not abrading any material. So use this brush, just clean off debris. Sometimes there's gunk or stinky, or sorry, not stinky, sticky materials. So basically keep them clean, okay? So that is the awesome progression that I had. This is good enough for me. I don't need to go up to like 6,000 or some kind of crazy grit progression, okay? I usually, honestly, I go for the coarse grits like 300, but then again, I'm using high vanadium steels. I'm not going to get into that now. So let's look at the actual machine. Here we go. The professional precision adjusts. Everything is assembled now. Let's take a look at it from top to bottom. So you have this to adjust the angle manually. This is the chassis. This is gonna be your main this is the main type of sharpener it is. So it's a guided sharpener. That's your rod right there. There's little rubber O-rings, so you can determine how much play there is. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Let me just go a little bit at it once. On the side here, they have these rough degrees. Don't use them. This is the precision, so don't just eye stuff. Use the actual the little gadget there and measure your angles. So a brush is a good idea, because once you're done, you might get metal filings, and that sometimes they get into the system. Also, it's just good just to keep stuff clean. So get a little brush. Okay. So the first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you this. This is the rod, and this is magnetized right here. Okay. And so you can slap any of those stones right onto here, and I'll show you how it works. Just like this. You see that in the back of here is metal. And if I go like this, listen. Okay, perfect. And if you can see, they have two holes here just to make sure that to keep them in place. Okay, so that's how it is. You see that? Just like that, very easy. And take it off. You see here in the middle, this for your thumb. Boom, I can take it off, maybe not, because I'm doing this with one hand. So all right, so I have that stone right there. Okay, all right, so when you're not using it, you can actually store it up here. That's pretty cool, with or without the abrasive. And another thing that's on it that I didn't even talk about is they have ceramic stone here for sharpening your serrated knives. I don't have any serrated knives, but the options there. I'm just trying to show how multi-featured this sharpener is. It's not perfect, but it has a lot of cool features. Okay, I think we're gonna have to talk about the clamp now. Okay, because that's really a big part of this. So to remove this, I don't know if you remember from the manual earlier, but we're gonna depress this red little tab here. I hope it comes out. It did. Okay. All right, here we go. This is what it looks like. Okay. A much better upgrade from the older models. Okay. All right, there you go. So this goes in there, and everything's magnetic. Here's the clip. Now I'm going to show you how wide it opens up, just so you can get an idea of what knives you're thinking about sharpening. Let's look from the side. Excuse me about this, but I'm trying to get a good angle. There you go. You see that? It's it's not thin, it's not thick, but I wish it could have been thicker. I wish it could have opened up bigger, these jaws. And I wish these extended a little bit further out. Okay. And maybe I'll cover that later. So this is the clamp. Okay, so how do you know which way up and down? Look for this right here. This little tab here will show you that that is the up position. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna try putting a knife in there, and then we're gonna tighten it up, and then we're gonna put it into the system. Okay, now I'm not gonna use one of my nice knives, okay, but just for demonstration's sake, I'm gonna use some random knife here. All right, let's see here. Hold on a second. Awesome, sun's coming out now. Let's continue with this. So the last thing we were doing was we were messing around with this clamp here. Okay, I have a tripod now, so now my hands are free. Okay, like I said, the clamp doesn't open up that big, so any knife with a big spine, you might have a problem. There you go. And there's little rubber teeth in there to not mark up your blade, but most people would put masking tape or something to protect their blade anyways. So there you go. So let's see, how do we do it? How do we clamp this? What's the best way to clamp this? Okay, let me show you the way. Okay, I'm having some technical problems. Okay, here we go. So first of all, we're gonna start with the top side, and you'll know that by the little notch on top. Okay, here's the knife in question. I'm going to squeeze the clip, and I want to place the knife in the clip as best as I can right in the middle. Okay, kind of parallel to the edge. Okay, I'm a perfectionist, so I'm just gonna take a little time. So this looks like a good angle for me. Let me just show that to everyone. Now this is unfortunate. This is an easy knife shape, but when you come across other knife shapes, it's gonna be difficult to determine. Not difficult, but it might be a little bit tricky to determine where to clamp the knife. Okay, and knives such as like karambits or weird shaped knives can cause problems, but luckily this is a simple shaped knife. And what I do is, in addition to making it in the center, I try to make it where the blade is kind of like a smile. That way the angle is going to be more balanced, so it's not going to be different at the heel and then a little bit different degrees at the tip. So, but this is good enough. So now we're going to tighten it. Just keep on tightening it. This is like, I don't know what, $2 knife, I don't care. So I'm going to keep on tightening. Now it's in there. It's in there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to, nice click. There we go. Make sure you hear that click, because if you do not, that means it's not perfectly in there. Okay, so I think now is gonna come the fun part. Okay, so we're gonna find out how many degrees should we sharpen this knife. Okay, now this is just a normal kitchen knife. Okay, it's not some tactical knife, so I'm not making a big deal out of this, but let me just show you, demonstrate the magic of this. This is the whole gimmick of the system, and that's this. So workshop, you see there's magnets on there, so we place it on this rod here to measure the angle. Okay, So this is the advantage of a guided system, is that you get that consistent angle. Okay. So first thing to do is, when you do get this, is that you need to make sure that it is centered. So put it on your surface and press tear like as if you're using a scale. Okay. You might find that small little breezes or small little touches will make it sensitive, so tear it a few times just to be sure. Okay, there we go. And then place it on the guide rod. Okay, let's see now. Let's move up close. So now we are going to take a look at this. Okay, let's take a look at what's going on here. All right, it's telling me this is 13 degrees. Let's see, now it's 12.75. You see that? So if you see here, it's not really that accurate to this, but we need to add a stone first. So just to make it easy, let's get back here. Let's put a stone on there and we'll measure it again. Okay, so look how fast it is. One, done. Okay, so now I put the stone back on here because I want to measure the angle. Okay, I'm gonna go back here, turn it on. I want to tear this. It's 0, 15. Boom, perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. So we got 15. Okay, lovely. So normally, you know, we want to go 15 to 20, around that area, depending on what you're using, but this is good. I'm happy. So this is the reason why this was a big upgrade from its little brothers, because of this this instrument. Not only this, but the whole construction. There's more metal being used in the chassis. There's less slop, basically. Is it perfect? No, but is it night and day from the previous models? Yes. So that was very useful. So now I'm locked in at 15, and if you can see, this is almost accurate as well, 15. All right. So I will show you now what kind of motion we use to sharpen these knives. Okay, it's not like wax on, wax off. It's nothing magical, but when you're doing this, make sure that you're consistent. You don't push down. You use the weight of the abrasive. You should be in a good mood. You shouldn't be in a hurry, because I'm sharpening expensive knives. I don't want to screw up a $300 knife. I don't know about you, but I don't have that money to throw away. All right. So usually with other sharpeners, they just saw like this. Okay, I've done a lot of research, and there's a lot of back and forth about burr this, burr that, forming a burr, and this does that, scratch patterns. The more you research, the more headache you get. So let me show you what we're gonna do. So instead of going up and down, we're going to go up and then to the left. So a sweeping motion like this. So we're gonna go up and to the left. Okay, maybe if I went like this, it would make more sense. Okay. All right. Now this is going to be a little bit difficult because the tripod happens to be right in front of me hand. Okay. My hand. Okay. All right. Now we just use the weight of this. We're not going to push down at all. Okay. If you see the base, it's pretty sturdy. But if you want to be if you want to, you could just place a hand here to make it more stable. But let's turn this angle here. Okay. Now I'm gonna go and begin. So light, slow. Now, from someone coming from Spyderco Triangle Sharp Maker, this is a different kind of system altogether. The the Sharp Maker is like a free-handed system. It's really basic. It works well, but this system really does offer way more options. And if you're gonna be working with super steels, you don't have a choice. You need to have diamond stones. So if you can see, I'm moving up, but I'm moving to the left. I'm not going like this. Don't do that. Okay, we want the scratch pattern to go this way. Okay. All right. Now, let's see if we can even see a scratch pattern. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna see. A good thing to have is also a jeweler's loupe. I just almost stabbed myself. But this is a very good idea to have because you can check out and see what's going on. Do a little diagnostic of your sharpening skills here. My technical skills are really poor right now, but let's see here. So see that? I can check it out. Okay, looks like I've formed a micro bevel or something, or maybe it's the angle of the light, but this is very useful. Yeah, I think I did change the angle. It was a 20, I think. But the whole point is that these are very useful because you can check out the edge, see what's going on. Maybe there's a burr, but these are always recommended tools for knife sharpeners. Okay, so I would recommend getting one. And this is I'd recommend getting this particular brand, Balomo. It's not Zeiss. It's not like the best one, but the good thing about it is that the actual lens itself is large, and depending on what kind of phone you can have, you can use it and take a picture with your phone, and it ends up being a nice magnified picture. So once we've done strokes on here and we formed a burr, so we feel down here. So right now I can see that my scratch pattern is heading like this. It's going like this. That's perfect. So we want to do this periodically to keep it clean. So we want to form a burr all the way, not just here. We want to form a burr from here, from heel to tip. Okay. Now this is a demonstration, so I'm not going to go through it, but this is what you're going to do. I'm going to go up here, and it's time to do a magic trick. Okay, it's time to do a magic trick. I'm going to push this back, push the red button, flip the knife over, put it back, and there you go. Wow, wasn't that cool? Now what's awesome is that you see the system is still locked in at that 15 degrees. So we'll continue on with the sharpening. And I'm not sharpening it for real, but I'm showing you guys just the steps. Okay, so from heel, you have the upwards lateral strokes. I'm not pressing down, I'm using the weight of the abrasive. This is gonna seem kind of rough. That's because I'm using a coarse grit. Let's keep that in mind. But this is just for demonstration purposes. So that's what you do. A lot of videos, I like how they somehow know in advance. 3 to 4 passes on this side and flip it over. So you see once you form a burr, you can hear it, and you flip it over, do the same thing. So let's assume that we have now formed a burr, and we're going to continue up to the grades of the stone. So first thing I recommend is clean. Okay, so clean that as a 220 stone. These are expensive a little bit, so take care of them. Look at that shine. Now let's see if we can get this nice and beautiful looking. Okay, I'll put that right here just so nothing happens. Okay, so take the knife out, push down, pull out here. Okay, just look down. Okay, here we go. Obviously I didn't sharpen it, but I was just showing you the motions and the steps and such. Okay, so make sure to form a burr along the entire edge before you flip it. Okay, but this is cool. So this is the indicator that shows you that this is the top. So always start out like this. Indicator on the top, handle to the right. Okay. Actually, my camera is even picking up some of the edge, I think. It's nice. Okay. Now let's how to release this. Okay. So turn this to the right. Okay, and then we're gonna squeeze it here. There you go. You see that? Now this is a satin blade. It's not a coated blade, so it didn't leave any like weird scuffs or anything. So whatever. It's just a demonstration blade. So and here we go. We have this back. Okay, this is one of the most important components of this. So we just sometimes there's metal shavings, so we just want to just give it a nice brush clean up. Let's do this every time. If you want to be very, very extra careful, which I am, I also wrap a piece of paper or wrap something around the blade before you clamp it in here. Okay, that's if you want to be extra careful. But it does have a lot of size, but just to be careful, why not? You know, our knives are expensive. So that's the clamping device. Okay, so we got that. All right, and that's how the system works. Okay, so let me just transform it back to its not its final form, but its original form. So this is a good system for someone who wants to upgrade. Let's say like me, I wanted I wanted something more from just a Spyderco sharp maker, because I was starting to use premium steels and I wanted to do stuff like reprofiling and experimenting with different angles and grits and such, and this fulfilled that need. Okay, so remember, this is a good set, and what's cool is that they made it more sturdy. There's steel. There's a steel chassis. Okay, this makes it very strong. There's holes here, so if you have a table workshop, you can fix this to your workshop at home. Okay, so this is very robust. Okay, and here's that little latch on the back. You didn't see it, but yeah, there you go. So you can do that for big blades, or you can do that to turn this around. So that's really cool. It's these little things that make the product. So just to conclude, this Worksharp Professional Precision Adjust, that's a long name, I believe it's a very, very good system for people who are not amateurs, but who want to take it to the next step. People who never used diamond abrasives before. I think it's a very good value. It has a lot of stuff. It has a lot of those diamond stones. It's got that digital angle indication, which is so very, very useful, because it can be frustrating sometimes when we receive knives from the factory with uneven bevel. So it's good to have an instrument for us to add better edges to our equipment. Okay, and as you've seen from the parts and the components in the box, everything is very sturdy. I think they really looked at the past models and what didn't work, what worked, and they really, really, truly just redid it from ground up. And for me, I think if I were to give it a point system out of 10, I would probably give it an 8.8 out of 10. Okay, that's I think that's pretty gracious. That's pretty good. So before we end, I want to say I really use this. No one's paying for me to use this. I use this. Okay, I like it. I've been wanting it for a long time. However, I want to mention that I also use it along with the Spyderco Triangle Sharp Maker. Okay, because I believe that these systems together provide a more complete package. Why is that? Because this system will set the profile, reprofile your blade, and then you're good to go. And then instead of using the white ceramic on here, you can hit these white ceramics on the sharp maker. So basically, take this out every once in a while just to hone the blade. But when you need to reprofile, do repairs, and major work, you just go to this bad boy. But this right here is gonna be your just your touch up. So it's not, remember it doesn't really make knives sharp. It just keeps them sharp. So an idea is, you can reprofile at 40 or 30, or I don't know if you want a micro bevel or not, and then you can use these go together. I think these go together very, very well. So what I'm trying to say, I'm sorry. So this is my personal system. What I recommend is using both of these together in tandem. I was talking about the tip and the heel of the knife before. The triangle sharp maker can help with that, targeting specific areas, so they can kind of complement each other. But everyone's different, and everyone has a different system. So this is the way I do things. So if I can find my stuff here, where is my knife? So as you can see, this system has no problem handling super steels, okay, especially super hard ones like S90V. Okay, and here's my beautiful knife. Okay, beautiful sun rays coming down, very heavenly like. Okay, so on this particular one, since it's a high, you can even see the scratch marks from the reflection there. Okay, for this particular setup, I wanted to be a low grit, so a coarse grit. I believe it's 320, and I touch up on the sharp maker. And this thing is scary sharp. It is scary sharp. It's like using a serrated knife, yeah, but it's almost like using a small little saw, because you can really feel those micro serrations. So, all right. Thank you for watching the entire video, if you even did. So have a good, happy new year. Thank you so much for watching.